When you're a Black woman in computing and they try to try you like, oh, she doesn't really know. So they try to ask you a question as if to trip you up. And it's like, for me, I'm petty. So I'm like, I'll answer your question. I'm going to tell you the question that you meant to ask, and I'll answer that. And then I'll also tell you that's beyond the scope of the class and rude to everybody else in here because we ain't even talk about that. So that usually
I don't even entertain it. I'll be like, go ask the peer mentor. I don't know.
I mean, you have to do that. And when I had the large classes, like, because who you playing with? Who you finna try? I know it ain't me. Caps.
Not today.
Hey, y'all.
Welcome back.
We hope you've been enjoying this season. As we mentioned at the top of the season, we got to interview a ton of people that have been on our list for quite some time. And we were just so excited to talk to. Tell us who your favorite person was and like favorite moments you had, because they were really fun to record. What do you think, Jeremy?
I am still kind of in awe of the ability to get some of these people. Like, first of all, starting out with Valerie.
Yes. This was like years in the making.
You can't nail her down.
Nope.
She is so busy.
Yeah.
And Quincy,
yeah.
Quincy was just in the White House chilling, y'all.
Hanging out.
And then she was like, not for reasons.
For good reason.
Listen to the episode.
Right. Right. And then Felecia Hatcher, who's just a wealth of inspiration and just, I don't know, it's her talking about future-proofing your career. That has stuck with me since we recorded it. And it's just put me on a whole different outlook on how I do things, how I decide what to do, how I think about what I do. Stephanie Van Putten, she was amazing too. She has a great story. I don't know how we're going to top next season.
I don't know, but y'all already know what time I'm on because this is episode 89.
Yes.
And Kyla has convinced me to make it to 100.
Yes.
So it might be a final season.
No, it's not.
Literally bow out. Y'all
the devil's a liar.
Y'all could find a real computer scientist, perhaps perchance.
No, ma'am.
No? Okay.
Who has an AI grant? Not me, but you. No, ma'am. Who was literally just on a podcast about AI. I'm just saying.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was kind of shocking to me, honestly. So I just got a cold email from a guy who works with the NSF Discovery Files podcast. And he's like, I want to interview you about your shark AI project. And I was like, why me? I literally sent an email back, are you sure? Because there's other people who, actually understand AI differently than I do, right?
You're a mess.
I'm a science communicator about artificial intelligence. I don't design machine learning algorithms. That's not who I am. But no, he actually wanted to talk to me. So the irony of that mention is hilarious to me.
I love it. And it just goes to show, it doesn't matter who you think you are. If the world sees you as something, go ahead and let them feature you. Let them give you the coins to do the thing.
Yeah, the episode's called Introducing AI to the Future Workforce. And it really is just talking about how, nationally, we've been doing a lot to incorporate computer science standards into curriculum for children. And that's a big deal. And there's been efforts over the last 5-ish years for AI for K-12. And Christina Gardner-McCune, who we've also interviewed on this podcast,
we need to have her back.
Is the person who co-leads that. And so they could have talked to her too. But anyways,
she's so busy.
Talking about,
she's in the air as we speak.
I know.
No matter when you listen to it, she's in the air.
Oh, probably. You're probably right. But yeah, these projects are really interesting because you're introducing kids and teachers, K-12 teachers who are in service who've never even thought about learning artificial intelligence to these concepts, and then having the students, I want them to be good stewards of technology. And that's really what the podcast that was about.
I love it.
Again, I'm not a computer scientist, but I'm interested in like the learning side of it. Like, how do we ensure students feel like they can do these things and teachers can upskill themselves while in service? How do we do that well?
And that's a huge problem in general. Like when I was in grad school, there was a grant where they had to teach high school students. I'm gonna back that up. High school teachers, like about computer science, and the goal was to get them to just implement more computing in their classrooms and not be afraid. And they were so scared. Like, we're just at the Linux prompt, and I'm just showing them some things, and they're like, "Oh, what happens if I press space before I press this?" I'm like, "How about just press space? Like the computer will not blow up. This message will not blow up. You will be fine. If you mess up, we're literally on a command line. Just type something different next time." And the apprehension just even there when it just came to low level basic programming, and then add AI to it, which is like this hot button topic. Like there's going to be some really interesting things that come about in the education space, because you have teachers sometimes who are used to how they teach and they know everything inside and out. They're used to always knowing the answers, and then you put something brand new they may not have all the answers to, and they're like, how about we just don't do this?
Yeah, and we don't normalize saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
So people have to give you an answer. It's a lot easier to just be like, I actually don't know the answer.
And let's find out.
Let's figure it out. Yeah.
And I do that all the time. Like in class, I do like live coding examples, and somebody be like, "Oh, what happens if you read the array backwards?" I'm like, "Oh, I think it'll do this, but let's just do it and see what happens." And students always appreciate, like that's one piece of my feedback I always get, is that they love the live coding examples, because you're not just telling them something, like you're saying, "Hey, I don't know, but we're also going to figure it out in real time and learn something." So hopefully teachers will be open to that.
Yeah. Classes are about to start. And so I think for some of the kiddos, they're already back in school.
I know. I was just enjoying them not being in town. When you live in a college town, it's like, it's nice. So great. And the students are
Summer
here.
Is nice.
You can just go places. There's no lines. There's just,
I feel like there's more animals like outside.
I know.
Like,
the animals
I'm a
feel
little
safe.
Disney princess. Yeah. Like frolicking outside.
Oh my God.
Like, oh, there's a bunny. Oh my goodness. A cardinal. Like,
I can't.
Some white-tailed deer.
White-tailed deer.
They're out here.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we're starting back. Let's see, what else is there? We've been traveling. We both have been traveling a ton. I got to see the joys of traveling with a 1-year-old. Again, when I say the word joys, I mean not the word joy.
The antithesis.
Oh my gosh. Like, I have to go back. We went to Chicago. I need to go back to Chicago minus the baby, because we couldn't do anything cool, like at all.
Oh, that's not true.
I mean, okay, we went on an architecture tour. That was cool. Yeah. Our food tour got canceled. So that was a bummer. But we did go on like a Chicago Fire tour. Like my husband is a huge fan of Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Chicago, whatever they're doing, Chicago grocery store, whatever it is. If they put Chicago in front of it, he is watching it on the Sci-Fi channel or ID or whatever. But we did that, which was fun for him. But I wanted to do more stuff, but it's like you have to plan around nap time, and somebody needs to eat, and then you can't go out past 7 because it's bedtime. And I'm like, this is jail. Like, y'all tell me I am in parent jail.
I mean, I told you. I was like, girl, live your life. Enjoy. Don't do it. It's fine. Like, continue on this journey. Yeah. But also, like, they're kind of cool, like, to be honest, it's if you're an educator, you would like having children because you already like seeing people learn things. And so like literally every day they're learning something new. And that is like super exciting until you have to like do things like travel with them. Yeah. So I took my little one with me and my husband. We went to Montreal for the American Society for Engineering Education conference. And she was so gracious to bring along with her a daycare plague. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I will spare you the details, but it went from her to my husband and then to me. I missed one of my sessions on the last day because I was so sick that I could not do it. I just legitimately couldn't do it.
Yikes. Yeah.
It was wild.
Oh, the funds of
Do not recommend.
Very ghetto. Do not recommend.
She's not coming with me to Finland. I'm going to Finland in a couple months. Sorry, kid.
Sorry to this girl. Sorry to this girl. But other traveling we're doing, you'll see us at Tapia. This should be out like maybe a week or two before Tapia. So if you see us, come say hi, take a picture. We will likely
come to our session.
Yes, come to our session, which is called
clickety click Receipts and Reality, Unpacking the Research on Black Women and Girls in Computing.
Yes.
So this is from our terminated, redacted, can't say those words.
Wow. But we still doing it. We're still doing the research.
I submitted that before things were canceled. So
and even if we didn't, so what? We're not spending.
I would have been there.
Exactly. So even though they're trying to stop this kind of research, we're still having the conversations. We're still doing the research. We're still talking about it. We're on the move. But yes, we will be there. I think our session is on Thursday morning.
Thursday, 10:45.
Yeah.
I know that because I was secretly plotting to fly in the day of.
She was just planning, like just willing the earth to just completely mess up.
I want to choose chaos. I felt like it was the right thing to do.
No.
Other people have since convinced me otherwise. So I'm going to go with wisdom, specifically my mom and Kyla and my husband and my mentors and everyone else who I just toss the idea around with.
A mess. She was trying to just be a chaos agent. I will try not to lose my voice this time. Like whatever.
Sure.
I couldn't even talk.
Sure, that was 60.
I know, it was 60 and I couldn't even speak. It was so bad. And I was trying so hard.
Yeah, and she could talk on the plane.
Right. I could talk on the plane. I could talk that whole day before. And then the next day I went to sleep, woke up, no voice. And we have a whole session. It was...
My theory is it's in the pillows and it's in the linens. And
maybe
they don't change the filters in these hotels enough.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was also raining that day. And we were kind of out in the rain and maybe it...
And Pittsburgh.
Yes. Also Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh.
I'm sorry for anybody who lives there,
yes,
but
we send our condolences.
Not a fan. Okay. Not a fan.
Yeah.
And I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. It has nothing to do with that.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't have a ban against the whole state of Philadelphia, but I do feel some type of way every time I'm forced to go back to that place.
A mess. Yeah, I'm not a fan of
Pennsylvania.
Pittsburgh.
I said state of
state of Pennsylvania, city of Pittsburgh. But I like Philly. Philly's a great city.
No, I was saying the whole state of Pennsylvania because Philadelphia's in Pennsylvania also, and we don't do them.
Oh, okay. So you're from a football context.
From a football standpoint.
Here you go.
Yeah.
A whole mess.
I'm sorry.
A whole mess.
Whatever.
Let's see. Other traveling. I went to Podcast Summit literally after Chicago. We landed. And then I got on a plane the next morning to go to Podcast Summit. It is a gathering of a ton of people who are in the podcasting or want to start a podcast industry. David Shands is the person who puts it all together. And he just had a star-studded lineup of people who have millions or hundreds of thousands of followers. And they were breaking down the game. And it was 2 solid days from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And I was thinking, it's just going to be a whole bunch of podcast bros being toxic on microphones. But once I saw the titles of the sessions, I was like, this might actually be good. And I literally hemmed and hawed back and forth till maybe 12 hours before the actual conference. I bought my ticket. I got my plane ticket, got my hotel, but I did save because they had a coupon code if you waited. So highly recommend.
It's absolutely insane.
Because I was like, I'm not going to go. I felt like I was traveling too much.
You were?
Yeah, I was. I was so tired, like so tired. And then I was just like, if this was next week, I'd go. I'm like, oh, so it's just the time thing. So I'm like, all right, get it together, go to sleep, put your good face on.
Suck it up, buttercup.
Suck it up, buttercup. I went, and I'm so happy that I did. We even had like the next morning, there was this like 5:45 a.m. walk and talk with creators, and and I'm thinking, oh, there'll probably be 10 of us out there. There were like 50 of us, and we're stretching and we're talking, and Saucony is out there, and they're giving us sample shoes to walk in, and we're recording, and like it was just so great. And all the people I spoke with, like it was real community, and just like the sessions were so great. Like you will see us implement some of the things that were learned there, so stay tuned. But yeah, this was something that we have to go back. Jeremy she had to go to graduation, and then has a little person starting school, so that would have been all types of chaos if she tried to go.
No, there was even more. There was so much happening that weekend. So
but yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. It was good to, meet folks who are at similar levels, that are coming to learn similar things. A couple people, I met a Black woman who's in tech and who did like what does she do? Cryptography for the military back in the day. Oh. And she was there, and she's also at UGA. And I was like, oh, we have to talk. We need to. Yeah. And then Alicia.
She's got a whole list of people she wants to interview now for next season, which I think fully exceeds the 11 that I
doesn't matter.
committed myself to.
Doesn't matter. So, but it was so good. We're also applying for podcast awards. So we are applying for a few categories, and I don't think by this time, possibly the nominations could be out, where they list like the people in the categories. They said, I think September 13th or something like that the nominations for each category of nominees will be out, and then you find out later who wins. So I don't know if it's a public vote or a private vote, but if you see us, vote for us.
We'll keep you posted.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, we will.
I think so the weekend Kyla was in Atlanta, I was very much so losing my mind.
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, first of all, they don't like tell you what it's going to feel like to graduate a student.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe it's just
a PhD student.
A PhD student, right? So yeah, like there's plenty of undergrads that I've worked with who've graduated, and I'm like, oh great, yeah, congratulations. But this was different. And so if you're watching this, you see my hair.
Oh yeah, Jeremy has her side part bust down going on.
Oh my gosh. So I have a student who like saw a picture of me in my house. There's a picture of me in my house. It's an engagement photo with me with a sew-in. And she was like, oh, how come you don't do that anymore? I've never seen you with your hair like that. And I was like, and you will not, because ain't nobody got time for all of that.
In Florida, for all of that.
In Florida, yeah. Like, first of all. Secondly, like, why? Why would I do it? Why would anyone? So then in my chaotic mind, I said to myself, you know what, self? I think they're ready. Like, I feel like this is the time to bring her out, right? And like, let them see her and then go back to myself. So
you're hilarious.
We're still here. She and I, her and I, we're here together, living.
I'm just saying,
doing what we gotta do. There's a nice little honey colored highlight going on. But yeah, I was like, we gotta do it. We gotta let them know I'm still here. I'm still that girl.
She is here. Okay.
And I might not be graduating. Like, it's still my day though.
It doesn't matter. And also,
I have all the feelings. Like, I don't know if you felt like that, but like, I was like nervous and like, it was great.
Well, also for the last graduation I was at, the first one, he graduated over COVID. So we just watched his icon go across the screen. But for this past one, I was also very much postpartum, going up the steps sideways, because I was determined to...
You were like a couple weeks out.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm trying to think. Yeah, a couple weeks out from having Micah, and I was going up the steps sideways because I had a C-section, so you're not supposed to really climb steps. But I was determined to go to graduation so that I could hood Armisha, because I'm like, I'm a Black woman and I've created another Black woman with a PhD. This should be celebrated. Like, I was going to be in my feelings, and she was like, you know, it's okay if you can't. I was like, this ain't about you.
Nope.
I am coming.
Right. Like, so my two students, Black woman, Black male, like it's us. Like, we did this. Those are my first two students. They're the second and third in the department.
Yeah.
So this is like not a small thing. And then also like Juan Gilbert, because he has to be mentioned on every podcast, was also there. And his student is one of my mentees. And Kyla was on his committee. So it was extra special.
Yeah.
He says that I'm his mentor for life.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Which is, he's like, I'm on your committee, or you're on my committee for life. And I'm like, sir, but I could also be on your dissertation committee.
Hilarious.
No.
That's
Those
funny.
things need to be separate. I was like, what?
Makes sense.
Anyway, so they sat next to us. So I sat next to Juan during all of graduation,
Aww.
which was kind of cool too. Because my parents, obviously, my dad couldn't be there, but my mom was dealing with another loss in my family.
Yeah.
So after graduation, I had to get myself to Orlando for a funeral and then come back here for the start of the school year for the little kids. So I had the wildest weekend, which is why y'all didn't see me in Atlanta.
Yeah, but we will be back next year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe you'll be, I don't know. We'll see.
We should be back. Like, I'm gonna do a screenshot of all of our analytics now, and then when we start changing stuff, and then we could even have a session to be like, and this is how you apply it. The end.
I like that plan.
Yes.
I like that plan. So we did have an amazing season. I absolutely am grateful for everybody taking their time out to like just share their stories with us, especially knowing like for Black women right now, there's just so much that we've been carrying for so long. I know most of us put some of that stuff down this year because it's just like, ugh. But I think I'm grateful that we've made it to this point where we can just be like, hey, will you interview with us? And people are like, oh, yeah, I know what you're doing. And I want to talk about my experience.
Yeah. And I think, too, like, there's something to be said about our persistence. Because, no lie, some of these folks, this was like, a lot of scheduling.
Year one.
And a lot of, a lot of scheduling. And nothing to they're not difficult to work with, but life is life for all of us. And we're so happy to have had those folks. Also, if you know somebody that you think would be amazing on our podcast, did you see that Aisha Bowe, she commented on the last episode and said, oh my gosh, I love Felecia. I was like, oh my gosh, we love you. Will you be on the podcast? So if you don't know, she went to space, all the way in a spaceship. So that's our next North Star. So we're just going to continually move the bar, and it would be so cool. And she has followed us for a while. We followed her. So it's not brand new. So yeah, to be continued. Oh, Nancy's friends with her. Nancy from season 1.
Nancy.
Yes. We should have Nancy back.
We need to check in with Nancy. Make sure she's
I talked to her a couple months ago. She's doing all kinds of wonderful stuff over in the Valley, and she would be great to have back.
That's cool. Okay, so one thing that we wanted to do this season was do a giveaway.
Yes.
And so I feel like we're kind of towards the middle of this episode. This is an advertisement. No, it's not.
This is sponsored by us, but it's going to be the Soft Power for the Journey, the Life of a STEM Trailblazer by Dr. Sandra K. Johnson.
Dr. Sandra K. Johnson was amazing. Her episode is phenomenal. If you want to laugh,
yes,
now we know where
she's so
Josh
funny.
Johnson got his humor from.
Yeah, I wish she was like, I was going through episodes so that we could submit different clips for our podcast awards. I wish her episode was in the time frame, but she has hand signed all of these books. We have 5 of them. And you, if you are listening and you would like one, what should they do, Jeremy?
Okay, first of all, you have to like or follow us on one of our platforms. You don't have to do all of them. It's okay. I understand.
Yep.
So pick one. Tell us which one it is. And then also you have to post a story and tag us to it about what you enjoyed about her episode or the season.
Yeah. Make sure your profile's not set to private, because we won't see it if
That's right.
if it's set to private. So make sure you tag us or hit us with a DM so you can make sure that we see it. But yeah, we want to know what you enjoyed about it, and it is yours. We have 5 of them. So even if you're listening to
I'm going to mail them, so you have to give me your information. So if you don't want to give me your information, don't do it.
Jeremy's going to walk down to the post office, ride down to the post office and hand mail, write your address on all of these.
Yeah, I will physically write it. I have really great penmanship.
So you're also getting a Jeremy autograph, kind of.
Yeah, and we'll throw in I got some stickers.
Oh, yeah, we'll give you some stickers. Should we give him a shirt, too? Do we have any shirts?
That's a lot. You're asking a lot.
Okay, fine.
Maybe.
See us
if you tell me what size shirt you are.
Yeah, we'll see if we have
I'll
some.
think about it.
Yeah, we'll think about it.
Yeah. Something's in my eye.
Oh, no.
Ah.
All right. I think those were our updates. Oh, last one.
Oh.
I just threw something in here.
Okay.
I decided at work, I've given myself, and it's in my signature, that I'm the chief vibes officer for my department. And what this means is, they say, to create the environment that you want to live in. And my department...
Wait, it's in your signature?
Yeah, it's in my signature. Chief Vibes Officer, CVO. And basically, I want to create the community that I like to live in. Our department is notorious for just being fragmented, crazy, all of the adjectives. But I decided, you know what? We don't have to be that way. So every week, I have instituted a community with the TEA at the end.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to have good vibes. So all that to say, give yourself a title and just do stuff. And you don't need permission. Like Quincy said, you don't need permission to do things. Just do it. Like, who's going to say I'm not the chief vibes officer? Who?
It's not going to be me.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, those are all
Run
the
that
updates.
by Patrick. Run that by Patrick.
Sure.
No. He probably would like it. He was sitting in front of us for graduation, which is really hilarious. Yeah. Okay. So Kyla and I were talking earlier today, and we were like, what do we want to tell the people?
Yes.
Like, what should they know? And we haven't done one of our young, gifted, and Black academic conversations in recent times. Like, I don't know the last time we did one. It's probably been...
I think it was a
whole season
5
ago.
Yeah, I don't think we did any this season. Yeah.
Yeah. And so we're going to do like a mini one.
Yeah.
Because why not?
Why not?
We're here.
And if you've been enjoying this, it is a playlist on YouTube, so you can just go through all of them. And it's a series that we just kind of pick up and put down about various aspects of the academic career. But honestly, even if you're not in academia, a lot of what we're going to talk about also carries forward for entrepreneurship, for working in industry, just, change professor to boss, second line manager. There's lots of analogies there.
Yeah. So for this conversation, we want to really focus in on what it's like to be a faculty member, and like how over time for us that's changed. So like for me, I've now been a faculty member for 5 years, which is wild.
Big wild.
For me to say. How long has it been for you, Kyla?
Oh, man. Depends what you want to count. So I started, okay, gosh, 11 was when I became a lecturer at Wayne State University.
14 years.
Yeah, so 14 years. Yeah.
You're old.
Girl, I'm young. I started when I was 10. Okay? I was 10.
I'm kidding. No, the students in my lab be trying my whole life.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
One of them the other day, I was like, I'm like a decade older than you. She's like, no, you're like 15 years older than me. And I was
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Do you want to stay my student?
Yeah, these Gen Alpha. Do we have Gen Alpha? We have Gen Zers in our classes.
They're still Gen Z.
Yeah, and they say the wildest stuff, and I'm like, watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
Like, first of all, let's not do math, okay? Like, I know you're an engineer.
Exactly.
We don't need to calculate anything right now. Like, let's just let it exist. I was like, you could have let it go.
Right. I was literally calculating today. I was like, I can now tell students I've been coding longer than you've been alive. So, how about that?
I feel like you're gonna do that in class one day because someone's gonna try you.
Because they try you. They try to act like, and it's a thing. Like when you're a Black woman in computing, and they try to try you. Like, oh, she doesn't really know, so they try to ask you a question as if to trip you up. And it's like, for me, I'm petty, so I'm like, I'll answer your question. I'm gonna tell you the question that you meant to ask, and I'll answer that, and then I'll also tell you that's beyond the scope of the class and rude to everybody else in here because we ain't even talk about that. So. That usually
I don't even entertain it. I'll be like, go ask the peer mentor. I don't know.
I mean, you have to do that. And when I had the large classes, like, because who you playing with? Who you finna try? I know it ain't me. Caps.
Me. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. Yeah. Okay. So what was it like way back in the day when you started as a lecturer?
Way back in the day.
Yeah, we already there.
Oh man, I think I'll start talking about like my assistant professor career. So like
that's fine.
It was so weird because I called it the other side of the desk. And I'm like, it's so weird to be on the opposite side. Like I was so used to going to professor's office, asking them questions. They know something. I walk away. I'm like, people are coming in here asking me stuff and they expect me to have all of the answers. And it was just surreal. Like it's like entrepreneurship a lot because you get startup at a lot of universities. Which is basically money and resources to get done what you need to get done. And you pick what you're going to do. You pick the agenda, you pick the plan, you pick how you execute the plan and the people who are going to help you do it. So it was just like, oh, wow, you trust me with all of this. Like it was a lot. What about you?
So, I started as instructional faculty because my department didn't have any tenure track lines when it first started. We literally had one tenured faculty member like in the department, and then hired another the same year I started. So it was COVID.
Oh yeah.
We were all at home.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird shadowing faculty because I started in the summer, so we didn't have classes starting yet. For me to figure out like even little things. So there's a lot that you don't know that you don't know when you first start out. And I'll just say this from a institutional standpoint. We're at a research intensive university, which is called a Research One university. And for us, we have so many services that we have access to support us, but you don't know what those things are unless someone tells you.
Right.
And orientations aren't really helpful. It's like, here's everything drinking from a fire hose
with a spoon
that you could have access to. But you don't know when you need it and why you need it and if you need it. And so I just felt I remember feeling really overwhelmed with all of the different things that were around me and like not understanding how to use stuff. So like some of the first things I did was just, hey, I'm new. This is my name. This is where I am in my office. Like, can we talk about what you can do to support me in your role?
Yeah.
And that helped me. I'm an extrovert, right? So I'm going to ask everybody everything. That helped me like develop personal relationships with people. And it really connected me with folks who I didn't know that I necessarily would need relationships with. And now, like today, it's like I can pick up a phone and be like, oh my gosh, I have this one little question. Can you answer it for me? Rather than like send an email and wait.
Yeah.
And hope that someone's going to reply.
Yeah, because those relationships are so important. Like, not just with your colleagues, but like you said, with the administrative folks, the people who support the department, because they keep the ship running. And you definitely need them. And I'm good for hitting somebody up on Teams like, hey, question, thanks, bye. Yeah. And it's so funny. I'll talk to other faculty and they'll be like, oh, I can't possibly figure out how to. I'm like, you just send a message to Cindy and she'll put you on the calendar, or, it's so interesting how we're extroverts, of course. So we know the people who do the things, and there's so many.
I'm going to ask the question.
Yes, we're going to ask the question. I'm going to figure it out. But there's so many people who they act like reserving a room, for example, like it is walking on the moon. And so I'm like, oh, I don't mind doing the room reservation. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing. I'm like, why do you think this is so why didn't you just devote 10.2 cycles of your brain to figure out how to do it? And then but they just rather, I guess, live in the dark and say, I am a research engine. And if it is not research, I don't know how to do it. And that's dumb.
So we on our campus, we have the Center for Instructional Technology and Training, or Training and Technology. I always get the T's mixed up. But anyways, so they have so many resources, and as a new faculty member, like instructional faculty member, I'm teaching, so I don't know how to teach because they didn't teach me how to teach. And like I did develop a course teaching people how to teach while a postdoc, which is fine, but like I've never actually fully developed independently a course, and now I'm responsible for developing courses and teaching said courses. I need more support than what I had, and so I went to them and we worked together to design all of my courses. Like I don't design a course without working with an instructional designer, and I'm in engineering education, but there's literal people's jobs
who are to help you with this.
Who were there to help, and like it's free. Yeah. So I'm gonna do it.
And that was another eye-opening thing. Like coming from your PhD, you are really great at research. Then you become a professor and they assume that you can be good at teaching. And that's why you have so many, students that complain about professors, because one, we were never trained to teach. Just because you know something well doesn't mean that you have the capabilities and actually appreciate the way that things are taught. So that was also something else. I'm like, oh, you just trust me to make a class and think of some objectives and just teach these people, like that being thrown out into the middle of the ocean. It's so wild. I'm like, why do I have so much power? Why am I allowed to do this? There's no checks and balances. I thought the chair would want to see my syllabus. Like I remember showing Juan like, oh, this is what I plan to. He's like, I don't need that. Who gonna check it? Nobody.
Who cares? Yeah, nobody cares. Nope. If you are not teaching like an undergraduate level course, there's not as much oversight. Yeah. Right. So like there is accreditation for the undergraduate majors in most of the degree programs in engineering and computing. But if it's a grad level course, if it's an elective course, it doesn't have as much like scrutiny on the content. And so that's how you end up with courses where it's like, what's going on in here? Right.
What are we supposed to be learning? Like, where is my professor?
Yeah.
Why are we cleaning out the backseat of his car? What is happening? They just let you do whatever.
That's how they got away with it back in the day, child. That was real.
I used to take my class on a field trip. Found out, funny, you're not allowed to do that.
What do you mean?
I used to take them to the Innovation Hub. It's like...
How are you not allowed to do that?
You can, but you can't deduct any sort of points if someone can't go, because they still show up and I take attendance. I never said it was mandatory. I'm just taking attendance. So
that's hilarious.
But literally every spring I've taken my class to the Innovation Hub. I have a colleague that's over there that does 3D audio technology, and I do some work with him. But anyway, he does cool demos and talks to them about the basically the industry side of what we work on. And he's hired at least 4 students from my class because he's like, you're already training them. They know what they need to know. And one of them's there permanently.
Take that class.
It's great. It's a good time. It's a good time. I'm just saying, I'm there. So you know it's great.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so with all of this responsibility that you get being a professor, there's also these 3 buckets you're supposed to fill that are research, teaching, and service. So research also has 2 buckets where it's publications, so writing about what you found out, and then getting grants, which is, getting the money.
That's a whole
to
other
find
thing
out the
they don't
things.
teach you how to do.
No, not at all. Not at all. You don't just write NSF, dear NSF, I'm really smart, give me money. That's not how it works. So you have to learn how to...
Are you sure that's not how
Some
it works?
people it works like that, but you need to get grants, write about what you did, and actually do the work. So like research has like those 3 pieces. Then you have to also teach. But research at most R1 universities is about 60 to 70% of what you are expected to do, like your effort allocation. I thought when I was a student that teachers only taught, like professors only taught, yeah, they have research, but that's something cute on the side. No. We are hired to do research, bring notoriety to the university, bring in these grant contracts. Another fun fact, if you're on the market, find out what the overhead rate is at your institution you're going to. And overhead is basically, let's say Jeremy and I get $1 million NSF grant. The overhead is what the university takes out of it for being the university. So right now we're at 53 and a half or 53%, something like that. They just updated it.
I don't know. They just changed it.
Yeah, it was 52 and a half for a very long time. So basically anything we got, it's automatically cut from there. So, people be like, oh, you got $500,000. It's amazing. I'm like, $500K over 4 years is nothing.
No,
it's literally a month of my salary. Again, also
Maybe.
Another thing, when you're faculty, you're a 9-month salary. You got to figure out how you're going to make your money that 10th, 11th, and 12th month. Also, if you're NSF, you can only have 2 of those. So they want you to be poor for a month. I'm like, can somebody make make sense? But anyway.
They do.
I digress. You can get 1 month of your salary, a grad student, maybe a few little research funds, but that's it. Because students' tuition is so much, like everything's so much. $500K goes fast, and don't have more than one person.
I don't even know how you're paying
grant.
a whole student. Yeah, I don't think I feel like you went over budget.
I probably did. They're in state.
No, you still went over.
It's a lot.
You said 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Gone.
Yeah, $500K for 3 years is actually more realistic. So even though you'll see, $1.2 million grant, nope. It might as well be 1.2 million cents. Like, it is not. it's not what you think.
Not quite
is.
that, but yeah, no, it really isn't. And also, like, there's a lot more. So you don't realize, like, okay, if I apply to this place versus that place, like, how much does the university take? And money is, we've already talked about money being different colors before on the podcast. Like, if it comes from a foundation, like a nonprofit organization,
there's a lot of flexibility.
Or if it comes from a company, right? There's different ways that money can be routed into the university for research use.
Yeah.
But all of those things you don't know, like, unless you have an advisor who is exceptional
and very transparent about
because
how things
even the
happen.
ones who are good often don't talk about the financial side of things.
Yeah.
They don't show you how to write a grant.
Nope.
They don't walk you through, like, I had to talk to this office and that office and this office just to get this proposal submitted.
Yeah. And talking about just who supports the proposal, because for us, we have 2 different tiers that need to see our proposals before they go out. There's someone in your department, then there's someone at the College of Engineering level. So you don't even get to hit send on your proposal. You put all your stuff.
That depends.
Yeah, and also that depends department to department and some PI to PI, because I was talking to somebody else and they're like, oh, I'm the one who hit send on mine. I'm like, I bet they hate you because you were going around. I'm serious, because they have these checks and balances.
Compliance issues.
Yeah, there's compliance. You're not signing the university up for something they don't want to do, or they're not legally
It's legal
supposed
stuff.
to do. But also, when I was at Clemson, there was the person who submitted. We only had one person. He would read through all of our proposals and give us like commentary, and I thought that was amazing. Everywhere. So that's like one instance where like a smaller university had a resource that I didn't see here. When I got here, I talked to Aaron. He's like, I do not read it. I just make sure that you all, you know, it's within the bounds that are stipulated. Doesn't go over the page count. Looks right.
No, they just look at what's required to be in it.
Yep.
And they're like, oh, did they write about these things?
Did they have this
and if
section,
they can't find it, then they're like, well, you need to fix this and make sure it's clear.
Yeah.
And that's about the most reading that they're going to do.
Yeah. But also,
at an institution where they're getting like how many proposals?
Oh my gosh, so many.
A week. Yeah.
So many. But I would definitely say to learn, I learned best by being on a panel. So you can, let's say that your area is, I don't know, cybersecurity. Go to the NSF directorate that handles cybersecurity, email the program manager or like their little email list and say, hey, I'd like to be on a panel, because they're always looking for people to volunteer. So it is definitely training disguised as work, but it's very, very helpful. So I started getting grants once I was on my first panel, and I was able to see, oh, this is why they were not funding me. And I could see all of the flaws in my previous work. So there's,
I think that, and then also mentorship, right? So like having a mentor who's like, oh, you're interested in being a faculty member. I want you to write this section of a grant.
Yeah.
Here's an existing grant that was awarded. Model it after this structure and make sure that you do this and this and this.
Yeah. Which people don't often get in their programs.
No, they don't. I wrote a proposal for the Department of Transportation, for the Florida Department of Transportation, when I was a grad student. It got funded.
Nice.
A student and I and a postdoc, like we're really the ones who put it together. I ended up not getting any of that money.
Wow.
I got some experience.
Yeah.
And then like that last year of my program, you know, when I wasn't funded by the department because he told them not to fund me anymore.
But they're making use of the funds that you helped to get. But I digress.
Yeah, I was funding another student. But anyways,
raggedy.
I told Juan that I wanted to learn more about grant writing, and so he was given a grant writer to work on a NSF Includes proposal, one of the design development launch pilots. And I worked with the grant writer and kind of translated things that he was saying.
Oh yeah, I remember
with
that.
The grant writer to get that proposal submitted, and that was really cool because then, like, grant writers, they think way different than we do,
and they know, and it's like a science to them. Like
and we got that funded, so it was really cool having direct access to somebody whose job it was to write proposals.
That's a cheat code right there. Use your startup, work with the grant writer, learn from what they're doing if you don't have good mentorship, and go from there. And grant writers aren't that expensive oftentimes.
Yeah. And then like now, you know, years later, I have a structure that I use. Like Kyla and I, we write grants together a lot. And so we have multiple templates of different types of grants, and like
not all grants are the same.
Extra documents and things, and like we could push out something
quickly,
really fast. And it's quality, but like sometimes when you're in a collaboration with someone, it could take you 6 months just to write the proposal.
Yeah.
So it just really depends on like what you're submitting, but none of that is something that is necessarily discussed
ever
at any point in time. Okay, and then we didn't talk about service.
Yeah, I was about to say, then there's this thing called service. And service is basically like serving on committees, and it's done differently in different departments. For us, it's assigned to us like, oh, you are on the graduation committee and you need to put on a robe and walk across the stage with people. Some people, you're on the curriculum committee and you are deciding how the curriculum needs to be. And like usually if you're new in our department, we try not to give junior faculty intense things like that, but that's not the same everywhere. Some places they will load you down with service all in the name of experience. So,
And then there's different levels, right? So like there's departmental service, there's college service, there's university service,
Yes.
there's service to your profession.
So that's stuff you
There's
do outside of the
domestic service.
university for your research space.
There's international service.
Yep. And all of it is under service. So like you definitely need to, start thinking about what your priorities are. Like, for example, Christina, who we talked about with AI for K-12, her research is also a large external service where she's doing AI in the school system. So, and it brings her a lot of notoriety. So there should definitely be a good balance of things that give you visibility outside of the university and things that make impact inside of your department. And also you can be strategic. If the dean asks you to do something on one of their committees, do it. You need FaceTime.
That just happened to me.
See, yeah, same actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those, you need to say, I mean, if you think about it, that is the level of the folks who are voting on your tenure. So well,
this is important, right? So it's important to mention the person who does hiring at the university level, the dean.
Yes.
The person who makes decisions on tenure and promotion.
The dean.
The dean. The dean recommends you.
Yeah.
Right. And so if the dean doesn't know you, we got a problem.
Yeah. So that's why you show up, you do an excellent job, you answer all the emails, whatever work's assigned to you, you do it well so that you're memorable and your packet comes along. They're like, oh yeah, we worked with her. Amazing person. Vote. I'm not even going to read the packet. I'm busy.
I'm pretty sure they're going to read the packet.
But still.
They're going to. I think by the time it gets to the dean's desk, right, the department has voted and made a decision.
Yeah.
And your chair is going to say, like, we need her.
Exactly.
Like,
and
don't let this one get away.
That's why you do a great job in the department.
They're going to say,
there's other people out there.
So-and-so was not great.
Yeah.
Not collegial.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. Like, and then their work is meh. And that's how people end up not making it. I can't really speak for that because, I haven't made it past that point, but I've seen it.
I'm going to say you've observed that happen. Yeah.
I absolutely have. It was very entertaining for me.
Yeah.
As an outsider.
But there's also a piece that we want to talk about is if you are a woman or a person of color, you may get some extra, they call it, what is it? The hidden service, I thought I had written it down, unequal service burden for us.
Oh, that's a nice way to say it.
Yeah, because students, especially Black students, women, they will come to you, they will find you and just be like, I need to talk to you. And yeah, these 15, 30-minute meetings, they start to add up. And your white colleagues, counterparts are not having this amount of service that people are literally coming and tugging at your heartstrings. And you feel so bad if you just leave them in whatever situation. They don't have this. Or for Black History Month, they're not asking other people in the department, oh, can you come talk at this, talk at that? But they're taking
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. They hit us back-to-back months. So they're literally, asking you to do so much. And yes, it is an honor to be thought of, but it is taking away from your time to do the research that you're technically there for. I didn't mention the 10% of our job that service is. So you have to think about how to effectively turn your service into something that can count for either teaching or research. And that's one thing we did. We have an STEM grant. It's basically a scholarship program within computer science because I'm like, hey, these grad students keep asking all these questions. Let's get money to be able to create a program where we can formally advise them. This goes on our profiles as funding that came in. It's service to the department, it's research, it's all of these things. We can get papers out of it. And so now I'm able to make that same impact that's important to me and tugs at our heartstrings, but I'm also getting credit for it in the boxes that I need to check. And it's not just something I'm doing out of the goodness of my heart and taking away from my time for other activities.
So if you are someone who's on the tenure track, about halfway through the time that you have to achieve the goals, the metrics that they've set for you to be tenured, they do a review of what you've accomplished thus far to make sure like you're on track to actually make those milestones. And so that varies by every institution, like what that looks like, what those milestones are. How did you feel at your mid-tenure review, Kyla?
Yeah, my mid-tenure review was fine. They told me stuff that I kind of figured. It was like, okay, publish more journal articles, do less service, and become the editor of a journal. And I'm like, okay, where is the editor sign-up sheet? Because last I checked, you have to be invited to do that. So, it was interesting. I did all of them. Eventually, like I got invited to do one, but I'm like, I don't know how I would have achieved that last one. I was a guest editor on a special issue for a Journal of the Audio Engineering Society. But I didn't understand. It felt a little bit arbitrary, but I also remember that they are trying to push you, to do more. It's not like, hey, you're not doing enough. It's like, all right, you've achieved this one thing. Let's give you this feedback so you can continue an upward trajectory.
Yeah. So I just went through mine, and my feedback was publish some more journal articles, which I feel like is everybody's feedback.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was they wanted me to do service in my profession. So an editor would work, or like serving on a conference planning committee, something like that. Serve in my professional society in an official capacity in some way. So I'm gonna do that, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like you do. Like your AAAS stuff and I don't know.
The National Academies stuff.
National Academies.
Yeah. I said the same thing. And so someone told me they were on my review committee, which they're not necessarily supposed to share.
Oh, well.
But they told me. And their response to me was like, what? I thought you did too much service. And I was like, me too.
Right. So that's another thing. People, whenever you're getting evaluated, people are people and we are not infallible. Sometimes you get reviews back that do not reflect the actual thing or person that is being reviewed. And you have to just let it roll off your back. And
I just feel like they wanted to say something.
They had to say something.
Like they need to say something.
Yeah.
Like,
and they decided.
They couldn't just say like, yeah, we're just going to wait a year. So
yeah.
You can submit your packet. But yeah, okay. So how do you prioritize? Because we talked about research, teaching, service. How do you put boundaries around your time, your energy?
Yeah, no, that's a multi-layered question. So when I started, highly recommend Carrie Ann Rockmore Future Faculty Bootcamp. And it's like a virtual, I think 16 or 14 week boot camp where you get an accountability group, all this stuff. Anyway, one of the tenets of what she talks about is structuring your day and what you work on based on how you're being evaluated. And for us at R1s, we know research is a huge part of our evaluation. Teaching a little bit more, and service. But teaching, you could overdo your slides. There's always something to do with teaching, and it can slowly have scope creep. And all of a sudden you spent the entire week on teaching stuff and you haven't touched your research. So I time bound my teaching on the day that I teach. That's when I do teaching stuff. So it's all in my head. And I even time bounded it so much. I had Monday, Wednesday, Friday class. I decided I'm going to teach once a week for 3 hours. And yes, that one day is intense, but guess what? I do it once a week. And that's one way that I time bound myself so that, because the act of just, going and getting interrupted and doing this and coming back and forth, there's extra time around those sorts of things. So that's one thing. I structure my semester based on mostly research, teaching, and service. I even structure my week that way. So when I'm making my weekly plan, I make the research things at the beginning of the week teaching stuff, so I teach on Wednesdays, towards the middle, and service stuff, I try to delegate to Fridays. There's things that are at the end of the day, so that if something falls off, I got my research done first, and it's usually something smaller with service if it falls off. So for me, being intentional about putting research literally first in the day, first in the week, so that I can make sure that is how I'm editing my time.
Yeah. So, and Kyla also does, every semester has a plan,
Yes.
and she has like an accountability group that they work
Christina's
together.
in my group, AI for K-12. Christina, she's always doing the most. And we also tell each other when we're doing the most. So I have a group of folks who've also taken the boot camp. And at the beginning, before we even start putting stuff on calendars, it's like, these are the big things I'm going to try to do. And we tell each other every semester we're doing too much. And we check in. It's like, hey, y'all, remember when you said I was doing too much, trying to write these 2 things and be on this committee? You were right. But we know that about ourselves. And so we try to say, I'll be like, I know this is a lot, but this one's the priority, and I probably won't get to this one, but it's on, it's on the horizon. I even have a Calendly, and I hate setting up meetings going back and forth with people. So I use my Calendly to only allow myself to be interruptible during certain blocks of time, usually the end of the day. So that's usually service stuff for the most part, like having conversations with people. So I don't let them happen at the very beginning of the day, because you're going to eat up my good research time. So yeah, those are some ways that I try to prioritize.
I am a serial calendar.
Yes.
Like, I live by my calendar. I ensure before the semester starts. So like, I've already blocked off all of my teaching requirements. I've picked when I think I want my office hours to be, and I feel like it's going to be a good time for me emotionally, because office hours really annoy me.
Emotionally and
it's not
energy wise.
It's the energy, right? Like, I just don't know how I'm going to feel. So I have to pick a time where I'm like, I'll probably be okay this hour of the day. So once I have that on my calendar, because those are like non-negotiables, right? Like, I have to be in class to teach. Then I set all of my research meetings. And my research meetings are, because I have so many like collaborative proposals, it's the PI meeting with like all the faculty or staff that are leading the project, a large group meeting of like the students, other staff that might be involved. And then sometimes it's just my little sliver of the research. So that could be up to 3 meetings. And I try to like alternate which week those happen. So it's not like I have 3 meetings the same week for the same project, which can be a lot. So I'm a fan of a bi-weekly meeting and not a weekly standing meeting for most things. And that tends to work out pretty well. So like, once I get the projects on my calendar, then I meet with my students, and we have like a large lab group meeting. For my students who are further along, who like need more direct access to me to get questions answered, they get first dibs on meeting with me. And I'm like, you can have a meeting every week if you need it, because sometimes they know that they're not going to do the things unless I harass them. And that's helpful because they're helping write publications, conference papers, journal articles, identifying different venues where we can disseminate our work. And then the students who are, early stage, I want them to focus on their coursework. And, we'll have the project meetings that they'll join. And if they have questions, then we set up meetings as needed. So that's kind of how I structure my semester. And then we have very consistent deadlines for conferences. And so I kind of go backwards in the schedule. Like, okay, if we're going to submit to this conference, I need to have this draft abstract done by this point. And I need to remind so I put little reminders, like, remind your students, write the abstract and send it to me by this date so that I can tell you, that's good, submit it or not.
No, I'm good at also the email, the send laters. because I'm good for, hey,
Schedule send.
this, like, hey, this NSF report's due. Tell me what part of the stuff that you're working on and put it in this folder. Like,
Yep. Yeah. All of that. So if you're not someone who's good at scheduling your life,
yeah,
it's really difficult, I think, to be a faculty. You can develop systems, right? But it becomes really overwhelming because you need like a life manager. Like you need somebody who's going to come in and program.
Yeah.
Like do these things in this order so that you can be successful.
Right. But also you learn about yourself and how you get things done. Like I literally had a colleague, the two of us, actually two colleagues, the two of us are in two different programs. Not both of us, but different people, different programs. They were like, hey, do you want to be work buddies for this program? Because there's a lot of independent work. And they're like, hey, let's be writing buddies for this thing. So we make sure we get this thing accomplished. And I'm like, having like working meetings with my students or with somebody else is another way. Because again, extrovert, I get my energy from folks. Left up to me, I'm like, that can happen sometime. But like,
that's how this podcast episode was recorded.
Oh my gosh. Jeremy is an amazing positive peer pressure person because I was spiraling.
She's like, can I tell them what you said? She's like, I'm sitting in my garage.
Yes. It's real. It's real.
Kyla.
If you sit in your garage or sit in your driveway for an unspecified amount of time before you go in the house for no good reason, I want to know because me and Jasmine used to be our production assistant. We literally talk about this all the time and just the joy we get from just sitting in the car.
I'm cracking up. So she's just sitting in the car
Spiraling.
and I'm like, oh, okay. So what I think we should do is come up with the plan for the podcast and we can record a little later. You should go to the gym.
Yeah.
And then we can record when you're done.
And that's how it happened.
You're welcome, everyone. I'm not always anti-podcast, as evidenced by today's episode.
I know. Hilarious. Yeah, Jeremy made this episode happen because I was just in a...
It's okay. It's okay. We all have our days.
Yes.
And yeah, I totally get it. Okay. So we're great at scheduling things and doing things, but I will say like one of the pieces of all of this that I think everyone forgets is that we are also people.
Yes.
We have lives. We have people we care about. You know,
contractually and willingly.
Yeah. And so I feel like often I'm described as a professor and not a person, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And there's all this politics and bureaucracy and policies and things that like are constantly being thrown at you, and it's just like, but also like I want to take a nap.
Exactly. I'm a whole person who gets tired multiple times.
And so I think Kyla taught me to have a healthy disassociation with my job.
Yes.
And that has allowed me to feel like Jeremy again.
You have to.
Which I think at first, COVID, baby, new job, it was easy to be lost. Oh, and like terminally ill parent.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot to be managing starting out a new career.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I would be here if it weren't for my family and like my actual friends. Like my coworkers are cool and everything, and they were very helpful, but there was a lot more that we had to negotiate.
Yeah.
For me to be a person. And so I don't know if you want to talk about that, Kyla, but
yeah,
I feel like that's maybe the last thing that we should share.
Yeah, I was just going to echo everything you said because I just looked around and I'm like, okay, why sacrifice parts of yourself so that some institution that does not care about you can actually can thrive. And one thing I was thinking of is like, I had this meeting and they kept putting the daggone they're not going to listen to this. They kept putting the meeting during my gym time. Like I go to Orange Theory. There's a very specific time that the class I like to go to is, and they kept putting the meetings at that time, despite me saying, hey, I do this thing. And I was like, I'm still going to go because I'm not about to sacrifice my health and well-being for something else, for someone else. And I just made a conscious effort to not sacrifice anything about myself for the institution, because the institution does not care about you. And I'm not going to say who it is, but I have a colleague who told me that he was literally like ill, very, very ill in the hospital. You know, TA had to take over the class. This person, without giving away too many details, they bring in millions of dollars to the department and the university. Didn't even get so much as a, hey, how are you doing? A card at this. And once they told me that, he was like, look, I said, this is your villain era at this point. Because it basically made him be like, hey, y'all don't care about me and I'm busting my back to do all this stuff for you. Okay, I need to be a little bit more selfish. So yeah, I'm leaning fully into it.
I'm 100%. I think I exist in a villain era.
Yes.
Which is why you
come to the dark side.
Got so many haters. You got haters, right? Like whatever, it's fine. But I was just thinking about, earlier in the episode, you were drinking out of your Stop Playing Diversity cup
from Dr. Monica Cox.
My homegirl.
Yes, we love her.
And like, yeah, they don't care about you.
Sure don't.
They'll replace you in a second.
They will place your job ad before they place your obituary.
It won't be you.
Yeah, it won't be you.
Because no one can replace you.
Yeah.
But the position?
Yeah, they will. And I think I've told this story on here. I can't remember. But the one thing that made me realize that when I had an internship in college, and there was, one of my coworkers who, unfortunately, he had been there like all night and was working on some code that was about to be released. And he got into an accident on the way home and passed. And literally, we're in the meeting the next morning, and I'm thinking that we're about to brainstorm, like, okay, this is how we support his family. This is, here's some numbers. Here's the funeral. They started saying, okay, well, his part of this project, this is so-and-so's job. His part of that project. They just started delving out all his responsibilities as though their coworker had not just died. Like we didn't have a moment of silence. We didn't have anything. And I'm like, oh, these people for real, do not. He was such a nice person. Like I'm like, these people do not care about you at all. And they just care about how what you do impacts what they're doing. But yeah, it's, I mean, it's a bleak way to look at life, but also it's a freeing thing. So it's like, okay, everything I was afraid to do, I'm just going to do. So yeah.
That, and like, it's not like we love our jobs.
Yeah.
Like, we go around tell everybody like we got the best job.
Yeah, and that's why I named myself the Cheap Vibes Officer, because who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me? Say I'm not a ray of sunshine.
I'm your counterpart in my department then.
Yes, I love
somebody's got to do it. Yeah, I think it's super important to remember, like, yes, like it's a job, but if you're unhappy, is it worth it?
Right.
Go and find something that fills you.
Yeah, or make what you do fill you. That's why I'm the Chief Vibes Officer. I'm like, we're going to change this up. And I don't care if you're unhappy in your current fields. I'm going to make sure everything I attend, go to, and part of is pleasing to me. So you can live under your little cloud, but I'm purposely making things happy.
I randomly just had like a Princess Diaries song pop in my head. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket.
That should be the outro music for today.
Never let it fade away.
They're gonna like shut us down. But that is one of the reasons that we like intentionally create community, not just like with each other, but also with other folks within the college. And we are each other's just bright spots in the middle of this weirdness that's going on here.
Yeah, outside of our families.
Yeah.
Kyla and I are the chief vibe officers
yes,
of
we are.
the Black women in engineering community.
Yeah. And all the kids, they play together. They have sleepovers. It's so cute. Like some of them,
super cute.
a couple of them are going to the same school. I just found out. I was like, this is so, and the fact that they're growing up with all this great representation.
The cousins.
They're all cousins. We have to break it to them later. They're not actually related.
We have some siblings too, but
we got
fine.
siblings, we got cousins, and it's for real, a family. We celebrate each other. We, go out. We have like for real family, and you don't get that everywhere.
So, if you're ever in Gainesville and you want to hang out, hit us up.
Let us
know.
And we have new family now. Some of the African American studies folks have been brought into the fold, courtesy of Dr. Andre Brock, who he let us know when he was coming down, and he introduced us to people we didn't know on our campus.
Yeah, like who are these Black people who don't talk to us? Why don't we know over them? There?
But actually, one of them, she had been to my house,
and humanities,
and I had not reached out to her. Like someone invited her once to.
That's okay.
But anyway,
she was there for the vibes.
Yes. And great people, and now we run into them all the time. So intentional community, like it goes so far.
That was great. I love it.
Yes.
Okay, so this is it.
Yeah, we've been going for quite some time. So there's more questions, but we're not going to get into it. I think we gave y'all enough today.
That's enough.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Listen to the other episodes. Don't forget books.
Yes.
Don't forget social media
K.
challenge.
Johnson, please. Jeremy will personally take the book to the post office and mail it to you with her hands. So
I will absolutely do that. It's going to be me because Kyla is not going to.
I know where the post office is. I hate the post office.
Like I said. All right, y'all. Until next time.
Bye.
Not a whole dance.